even better than 3 and 5. So the population moving forward, the so-called selection pressure, 演化的压力，有 pressure 你就会开始往前推进。How about the diversity preservation? Using the limit numbers of this data point to approximate a continuous line segment to preserve the representation power. 我们只有几个点，几个 data 点。How many? That's another question that has to be answered. 但是要用这个来去 approximate the Pareto from, and the Pareto from could be arbitrarily complicated, could be discontinued many segments. 你有5个 segment， 你只找到3个的话，你就是也不是很完整的 solution. In order to maintain the multiple optimal solution, an explicit diversity preserving operator must be used. 例如说 how about that? This is one of the technologies that have been used starting the beginning of the 1987, so-called the sharing function. Sharing function. Instead of replacing by similar solutions, the degrade the fitness of the similar solutions. OK， 什么意思呢？如果说很多的 solution， 很多的 individual 都 clouded， 涌起在一个地方，我们就把它 penalize 它的 fitness value 就掉很多。一掉的话，它就不会有机会被选上，就会被 eliminate 掉。这就是用所谓的 sharing function. If we are interested in finding Q optimal solution with finite population size n, then there is an expected occupancy mi such that summations this mi from I to 1 or from I equal to 1 to Q, that will be equal to n. 就是这么多的 sample, you have to put them together. If an optima has more than the expected numbers of representatives, this come at expenses of other optima. So we got to degrade those fitness value of the extra representative. A solution of underrepresented, 没有很多的在那边 must be emphasized because their fitness value will not be penalized. And we're going to identify those solutions belonging to each true optima. Demands a lot of problem knowledge and is not usually available. And using this adaptive strategy, sharing function is used to obtain an estimate of number. So here, this is the so-called sharing function. Sharing function. 这有一些参数我们也要了解。所谓的第一是 distance measure, 距离 individual to individual. OK， 所以我现在，例如说，我现在开始算我要算我的 sharing function， 我的 sharing function， 那我 measure 我的 distance 到这个老师的 distance， 这个是我们的 d。这个 d measure 之后呢 ，if d is less than equal to the sigma share 是一个参数。d 如果说是小于 sigma share 的话，表示什么？表示我们太靠近了，对不对？太靠近了。如果说是大于的话，我们就有 sharing value 就 0， 就表示我们没有站在同样一个位置，就不会有 penalty。但是如果说我们太靠近的话，就有开始 sharing value。你看这个 d divided by sigma share，and then the power alpha。因为the d divided by sigma share 这个 term 的话是很小的。If d is equal to 0，d equal to 0代表什么意思？我们两个站在同样一个位置，对不对？我跟我自己 ，for example，meaning that these two solutions are identical or their distance is 0。If the d is equal to 0, this term will be equal to 0, sharing value will be 1. This is the maxima 最大的一个 sharing value， 表示我们两个站在同一个位置了。So and the solution has a full sharing effect. And if d is greater than sigma share, then because of that, here the sharing value is equal to 0, meaning that two solutions are far apart, or at least sigma share apart. 所以说其他的就在这中间 ，between 0 and 1 sharing value。Between 0 and 1 the sharing value. 然后呢，我们把所有的东西都加在一块，你看 sharing value between the individual I and the distance value of the individual I and individual j。我在这边，我们有这么多 population， 我跟他5个，我们算我们的距离，算距离。我们每一个人计算它的 sharing value， 之后把它所有都加在一起，包括我跟我自己。我跟我自己的话，一定有 full sharing effect，right？ Sharing value 一定是 equal to 1。那我跟其他人的话 ，depend on how far we are。如果说我们都 good distance away 的话，就不会有其他的 sharing value 加起来的话，这个所说的 niche count 就会是 between 1 and a large number， 最少是1。 因为我跟我自己就有一了，对不对 ？I 跟 I， 你看到没有 ？I J， 如果 J 是等于 I 的话，我就是我跟我自己 ，I 跟 I， 那个 sharing value 就会 equal to 1。所以说 ，at least this niche value will be 1 to 2 or to 1 to a large number。如果说越大的话，表示说很多人跟我 share 在同样的一个 space， 我的 niche， 我的 fitness value 就会被 penalize 这么多，对不对？看到没有？就 penalize。如果说像如果 niche count 是1的话，表示说 nobody share the spaces with me。So Fi divided by 1 will be equal to Fi， 就不会被 penalized。这就是一个很有趣的 idea thinking of that. Because all these overly represented optima will have large NCI value， 越大大于1，越大就 penalize 越多。所以说把它的 fitness value 降下来，拉下来之后，他们就不会被选择到，这个 evolution 的过程当中就不会被选到。也就是所说的 sharing function。这个 sigma share play a very very important role here。sigma share 定义是说，在这个空间当中，在我的 sigma share 空间当中，不能有任何的东西在里面，有的话我就会被 penalize。但是我怎么定义这个 sigma share？ 有时候真正问题 ，finance 问题 ，engineering 问题，很难去估计思考这个 sigma share， 所以这个参数变成是一个很大的一个问题，要怎么去解决 ？Sigma share need to be set right in order to define the so-called niche size. Niche 就是一个角落，一个空间，这个空间不会被动到。The niche size is related to the basis of the attractions of the optima. The sigma share depends on whether we can calculate distance between the genotype and phenotype. 有些人在考虑是说，这样子，我是不是可以 go back to using my so-called weighted sum method？ 我只要给它 WR， 我就可以组合起来得到一个 single objective function。那我可以用我traditional method to find one solution。再改变我的 WR， 我可以再找到另外一个 solution， 对不对？那如果说我做了很多的次之后 ，maybe I can obtain the whole spaces of this further frontier. The question is how do we choose the weight? Depending on the importance of each objective. 那你说我们是不是可以 equally sample 这个？从 WI 的话 ，W1 从0到1， 0.0、0.1、0.2、0.3、0.4， 一直加上去。也就是说，把这个 spaces equally divided. But even that is not going to do. Because what? Because a lot of those, the concave problem, 我们找不到里面。所谓的 weighted sum method 意思就是说，今天我这个 W1、W2 在这两个 two-dimensional problem，W1、W2 一旦被定义之后，它就是一个固定的一个 slope， 对不对？一个学历。Minimization 的话，从这个 minimize 的话，就从 A 到 B，B 到 C 一直找到说有的时候只找到一个 tangential point 这就是我们所说的 solution， 找到这一点。minimize 的过程当中 ，the contour surface of F can be visualized in this objective space. Moving from A to B is effectively lower the value of F. That's what we're talking about minimizing the objective. 只有 one dimension, one objective. 然后再改变它的学历slope， 那你就可以再找到另外一点。再改变也可以找到另外一点。做很多的次之后，是不是能够找到所有的整个 front？ The problem is not. Look at that. You can never find those in the non-convex area. This is no problem for these with some methods. You just cannot find it today. And here, those are the solutions that we need to find too, if our idea is still remain to be valid. This is the simplest way to solving an MOP, although it's not very good. The concept is intuitive and easy to use. For problem having the convex parallel front, this method guarantees finding solutions. However, a uniformly distributed set of these weighted vectors need not find a uniform distributor. OK. 所以说我们的第二个目的叫做 diversity， 这个没办法 guarantee。其实我改变 uniformly 去改变这个 searching direction， 没办法去改变。 different weighted vectors need not lead to two different Pareto optimal solutions. We cannot find certain Pareto optimal solution in the cases of non-convex objective space. 有些人就说 ，How about that? How about so-called epsilon constraint? 这些 epsilon constraint weighted sum method 全都是只能解决一个 single objective 的问题。因为一般来讲，我们就只能做这样子 single objective。multi objective 没办法去处理，一定要把它想办法改变它的体质。所以说 ，what is epsilon constraint? Epsilon constraint 呢？哦 ，okay, I'm going to just try to minimize one objective, and then subject all the other under certain constraint, so-called epsilon m. 啊，你看这个 example here. We're going to minimize f2 and treat f1 as a constraint. f1 as a constraint. Well, look at that here. If I have here, look at these. If I set this first one constraint as the epsilon 1c, then I can minimize f2, keep on minimizing until I find this point. Then I find one solution. So yes, I can find those in the non-convex area, but still, how do I choose in the epsilon value? No easy way. Think about that here. If I choose in epsilon here, look at that, this epsilon here, I will not find anything. We don't know the problem. We don't know this contour. For a difficult problem, many objective problem, and we choose here, we will not be able to find any things. So those are all we know the problem. Advantage, well, yes, simple. Disadvantage, that will be a problem, and you can study. And so there are many other approaches that has been proposed. The reason is because there is no existing useful methods that we can do multi-objective at the same time. So it always has to do with a single object. So the disadvantage of this classical method, we need some prior knowledge of the problem domain to result into the single objective. And then every time you run once, you find one solution only. And non-uniformity in Pareto optimal solution, I just cannot control their diversity. No. And require the fitness function to be linear, continuous, or differentiable in order for those tools that I can use, even the minimization problem. Can I deal with MOP has discontinuous or concave because all those linear programmings or the weighted sum method has embedded with that disadvantage thing. So people begin to look for the new tool, and that's why they come to so-called the nature-inspired meta heuristics. Quite different. This is a very interesting because we in the IEEE. I belong to a society called the Computation Intelligence Society, beginning with so-called the neural networks, and then begin to grow to fuzzy logic, then evolution computation. Today, there are a lot more different things. It's very different. Yesterday I mentioned, as opposed to physics-based, mathematical-based problem solving. Today, people begin to look for a different way of solving the problem. Difficult problem. The problem that we have to deal with is large scale, distributed. Okay, very difficult problem that we have to deal with today. And there's no mathematics or physics nature that, the basis science that we will be able to use. So people begin to look into the biology. Look at the biology, how they really solve the problem, like little ants, like little bugs, like human beings. How we being survived or prospers into so many years, and the way how the things become better and better and better. So looking for those meta heuristics, such as the survival of the fetus, the particle cooperation behaviors, to look at the differential intelligence, how the difference between individual to individual, the one we call that differential evolution, DE, that presented these tremendous powers in searching for these processes, and they can handle the complex problem with discontinuity, multimodality, and disjoint feasible space in the dynamics. So it presented something very unusual. 我们叫做 unorthodox， 不是正统的，对不对？真的是不是正统的。昨天我们提到过很多，里面有些很有趣的讨论。This is just different. Every time they're going to give you different solutions. And then to engineer, to science, this is hard to believe. Right? Hard to believe. I give an example yesterday. I was in the conference 1992. Listened to a talk. Students presented wonderful neural network to do the matrix inversions. 环矩阵，来进去3 by 3，出来是3 by 3的 inverse matrix. And I scratched my head thinking, why do I need that? The calculators, 电脑MATLAB 打进去出来都是一样的。这个的话送进去，每次出来的结果都不一样。Neural network 每次出来的结果都不一样，对不对？知道 neural network 的人 ，But why did you do that? Because you need to use your technology properly. If this is simple problem, don't do that. Okay? That is not what this area, this computation intelligence, or the GA, is designed for. If you have a large search spaces, that there is no easy way that you can do so, then the GA presents an alternative, an option, and we possibly can find a good solution. And that is what we're talking about. The problems such as the multi-objective, 多目标的优化问题. And there are many things. Yesterday I talked about it, even with this 小强算法，Clockwatch algorithm, 蟑螂算法 ，brainstorming, fireworks， 这些都是比较新的，但是都没有 credibility。很多人还在讨论这些问题啊。我知道有个老师做 firework algorithm， 是不是？这个 firework algorithm 都在很刚开始 development 过程当中。But anyway, I'm here now to judge one is better than the other. But all this population-based parallel searching mechanism. So for example, I have randomly created a population of individuals. And then through this evolution process, I help them to get closer and closer convergence. And not only that, each one of them presented an individual representing power. So the diversity. The quantitative measurement, how to measure the performance of objective space. 我们提到过 convergence and the diversity. 这个 convergence is an issue. This diversity is an issue. Well, indeed, the diversity is just meaning one is different from the other. So it's very loosely defined word. So 很多人开始讨论是不是应该 find a better way how we define these, the so-called uniform or an extension. Well, that's another story to tell. The part of the research topic. The GA 开始找到一个 area that it can make a difference. It can make a difference. 我昨天提到过说，有些人用 GP genetic programming searching for the mathematical relationship from a large amount of the data, astrophysics data, for example, medical data, for example. Medical data, 因为医学上的这些 research doctors 他们不太重视数学，重视它的关系 relationship. So they don't really care about that. But physics, astrophysics, 天文学家 everything they study is all about the mathematical structures. 所以说，我们如果能够说从资料里面提取它的 mathematical relationship 的话 I think this is wonderful way of communicating. 就现在很多人开始做这个题目，很多人在做这个题目，很有趣。也就是说，我收集到很多天文学上的资料，以前的话没办法去解释它，现在经过所说的所谓的 GP， 你们有兴趣的话，有些 paper 你们可以看，就是说从其他领域来的话 ，GP， 它可以找到他们的 relationship, mathematical relationship. That's very powerful tool.
但是医生如果重视那个临床上，
是
他一定要看到说以前的人吃什么东西跟现在吃什么东西，都相同东西，但是是 environment 去改变，所以他要看这个。
同意。但是我是说，他们不是不重视，不会看数学。This presented an opportunity to advance the next technology frontier. 如果没有这个问题，以前还重有兴趣。我个人是做